As a new and aspiring coach, it can be extremely overwhelming when you know that what you have to offer your potential clients is absolutely amazing or so transformational, but it seems like nobody's ready to take that next step. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, but in today's video, I'm going to help you to break free of that. We're going to talk about the 3 things that prevent people from buying and how you can avoid those. The first reason that people often avoid taking that next step with you as a coach is because they're struggling with balancing a million things and they can't determine how they're supposed to say yes to yet another commitment. Think about it. We live in such a busy world. We're balancing all the things. We're wearing all the hats. We have our attention being pulled in a million different directions. And so the idea of committing to another thing can feel extremely overwhelming. It can feel almost suffocating. And so a lot of times potential clients will say no because they're not ready to take that next step because they can't see where it would fit in their schedule. The second reason that people will often say no to taking that next step is money. The reality is a lot of times money can be tight, and the idea of having to expend your money into something that you don't even know what could potentially happen can feel overwhelming. So a lot of times people will speak to the money aspect. I don't have enough money. I can't afford that right now. And so that can be another reason that prevents people from diving in with you to take that next step. Finally, the third reason is probably the most common, but not one that you'll hear often, and that is limiting beliefs. Whether someone has already tried something before through another program, through a book, or tried something on their own and then they haven't succeeded, a lot of times they have created limiting beliefs around what the outcome could potentially be for them. And so if you're promising somebody something, but they don't at the core believe that it's available for them, they're immediately going to say no. That's what their first gut reaction is going to feel as a response to say, because that feels safe. So now that we identified the 3 reasons that people will say no at committing to that next level with you, let's talk about how you can avoid them or help your clients be able to circumvent them so that they're ready to take that next step. The first thing we talked about was time, not having enough time. One of the best ways to help your clients see that they can move beyond this is helping them understand how your program could potentially help them with time. So for example, when I was coaching people around writing books, a lot of times they're like, I don't have time to write a book. What if I told you that there was a way that you can commit to writing your book in under 30 minutes a day, right? I spoke to that time piece directly and created a promise that would help them to save time in the long run. So think about a way in which your program can help them cut down or save time in the long run and speak to that. Or another great strategy that you can use is that you can talk about how, if they don't do this, how it will cost them more time in the future. Speaking to these parts can help your client, 1, feel heard, but 2, feel like that they can finally move beyond that time barrier and take that next step. If you're wondering how your program is going to help to speak to the time concern, here's the reality. Just having support can help you save time. Think about it. If someone is trying to learn something new and they're blazing a new trail, it's going to take forever. But if they take someone who has already been on the journey, someone who's there in the trenches with them to support them through their journey, then they cut their time down simply by being able to have support. So that's something that you can speak to if time is something that they're concerned about. The second reason that people don't commit is usually money. And so knowing that, what are different ways that you can meet your audience where they're at? Can you offer payment plans? Is there a trial period for working with you? Whatever it may be, when you speak to those money things and help them to kind of take their guards down, then they're more inclined to take that next step. Finally, the third reason is those limiting beliefs that we talked about. Maybe your potential client has already committed to another coach who's let them down and under-delivered. Maybe your potential client has tried all the things and they just don't believe that that change is available for them. How can you speak to these limiting beliefs to help them move beyond them? And the best strategy to be able to do that is 1, acknowledge that the limiting belief is there. 2, call it out in an indirect but very comforting way, helping them feel heard, letting them know that they're not alone. But 3, helping them understand that they have the power to make a different choice. And more importantly, talking about why your program is different than anything they potentially have committed to in the past. Whether you're doing a program, whether you're doing a group program, whether you're doing one-on-ones, whether it's a course, whether it's a training, whatever it may be, speak to the part about why yours is different than anything else that they've committed to in the past. Now, thinking of all of these three combined, one strategy that I use no matter if I am on a sales page, no matter if I am on a one-on-one call, no matter if I'm in a direct message talking to somebody, I always highlight why my program is different. And then I will also take it a step farther and share testimonials. And when I share testimonials, I'm not sharing testimonials just from the place of being like, oh, I'm just going to share this testimonial because it's really cool and really nice what they said. I share testimonials from the perspective of this is a breakthrough that was created for this client, which means that it's also available for you. So here's the reality. You are going to speak about what you have to offer very highly, as you should. You put your blood, sweat, and tears figuratively into it. But people expect you to talk about how transformational it is and how amazing it is. But when somebody else is speaking about the value that you bring as a coach, that gives other people permission to dive deeper. That validates the offer that you have, letting other people know that they should consider taking that next step as well. So when you're talking to someone, whether it's in a direct message, whether you're creating a sales page, whether you're on a clarity or discovery call, pay attention to where those blocks are. Pay attention to where they're a little bit hesitant and determine how you can speak up your program as it relates to those things, allowing them to let their guards down and being ready to take that next step because they feel safe, because they feel heard, and because that they know that you're really going to commit to what it is that you're offering them. A common struggle that I hear my fellow coaches running into from time to time is feeling salesy, feeling like you're being like the used car salesman. And that's not a good feeling. But let's talk about why this is different, okay? Your job is to speak up what it is that you have to offer, especially because you know that it's so transformational. And in fact, I feel like you're doing the world and yourself a disservice to not share that, to not brag about it, humble brag, right? The difference is used car salesmen are selling you something that's not valuable. You're selling something that's valuable. So it is your duty to be able to commit to sharing that with the world. Think about it like this. Imagine that you read a book that you absolutely loved. You're like, oh my gosh, this book changed my life. I just got to tell everyone about it. And you're telling people about it because it was so inspirational, so impactful to you. That's not being salesy. You know that other people can be blessed by it. Think of your offer in that same way. If you know that this can really help someone get from where they are to where they need to be, why wouldn't you offer that to them? And more importantly, knowing that you're offering it from a place of passion, knowing that you're offering it from a place of love, knowing that you're offering it from a place of being dedicated to supporting your potential clients and growing more into the direction of where they want to be. That is the best thing that you can do, not only for yourself, but the entire collective. So don't try to adopt this idea that it's like being salesy. Look at it as an opportunity of you being able to be impactful, of you being able to support people, and you being able to share your voice, knowing that it's going to be able to change other people's lives. A big mistake that we make as coaches is we know that what we have to offer to people is amazing and valuable. But what you have to understand is other people don't know that. Maybe they've been burned in the past. Maybe they're not recognizing the value. So your job as a coach is to be able to present that value. And part of presenting that value is also speaking to those things that make your ideal client a little bit hesitant or make them nervous. Speaking to those pain points, speaking to those triggers, speaking to those blocks helps set you apart from other coaches and helps your client, your potential client, to feel heard and helps them to feel safe at taking that next step. If you're looking for more tools, more strategies, and more support on the journey of increasing your income and increasing your impact as a coach, I have just the thing for you. If you use the link below, you can get access to my totally free Get Your Next Paying Client Now bundle, where I walk you through the process of increasing your magnetism and increasing your success without the overwhelm. In fact, I might even add that I make it fun. So use the link below, and I look forward to seeing you there.